Let me refresh it. I'm sharing my screen, guys. Just let me know once it is open. Yes. So now it's activated. Can you see it?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Great. So let's jump on this. So now what we'll do is we'll try to, work on publishing. We'll try to import and publish the API using this API management stuff. Let's launch the API now. So it takes 30 to 40 minutes, between 30 to 40 minutes to create and activate an API management service, okay, in any tier. Okay. So if anyone is asking you, so this question might come up if you're planning to give a, 204 certification. Okay, so we have this, this is a resource. Now in this, we have APIs, we have product. Okay, let's click on the API. So now it will ask. So here you can see there are, defined a new API. So we are going to create a, or, blank API, then WebSocket. If you check your steps, in the steps there, we have mentioned that the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to, you know, work on that instance. Open API. So we'll click on Open API. Now here we'll be selecting full. Okay. And now after this we'll be, targeting the details. So let's go with the details which has been provided. In the open specification, API specification value, will be using this, URL. Conference API. I think there's some problem with the copy paste part. Guys, just 1 minute, I'm getting a call.
Hello, Dev. Dev, are you there?
Yeah, sorry guys. So got a call, important call. Yes. So yeah, where were we? So this you can configure it or not. This one, API management. I don't think it should have any restriction. Or should I stop asking this question? Can you configure it or not? Guys, I'm audible.
Yes, we
Yes,
could not
Dev.
do it. We could not do it. Hello?
Yeah. So this is how you feel, when you're not getting a reply, Abhishek.
Okay. I just said like while creating an error was coming like the subscriptions not registered to use namespace kind of thing. So we could not create actually.
Great. Fantastic.
Dev, in the URL which you pasted, once can you go up? There's a space after API dot and Azure websites.
Which one? This one?
Yeah, there's a space after API dot.
API dot.
Yeah, there should not be any space. It's a URL, right?
There's no space. There was no space.
Yeah. And in format, I don't think there's a hyphen.
Which one? This one?
Yeah,
Okay.
this should work now.
It was working, I think. Let's see. API.NET conference. Okay. Tags and all we are not using. Version API, we are not using anything. Okay, let's create them.
Dave, you're on mute.
Yeah, I'm not speaking anything. I'm just checking.
Okay, okay, okay.
Demo conference API. Not keeping well, so I'm coughing a lot. So if you want to hear those, I can keep it on.
I thought you were saying something, so
No, no, no. If I'm saying something, I will unmute. That's not an issue. This is okay. All right. So The backend response is okay. It shows 200 okay. It is also having the data. Let's create and publish a product and see. So let's go to the product and publish it and see. So let's go with the values which are provided. The display name. Okay. Then we'll go with the description. Okay. State will be selecting published. So if we select require permission, if we want to select require permission, or the time when we want to select it, so it's basically for where we want a user to subscribe to use the product. Okay, so the subscription is basically for that. So if you select publish, so it will know. So before the API is in the product, and it can be called, the product should be published. So that is the reason we are trying to publish it. Legal terms, we'll leave it blank. So now we'll be selecting the API. Create it, create the product. No. Description. So description will be, again the same thing. Walkthrough. Or you can put any description. Okay, so we have published this. Okay, so we're done with the publishing part also. So it's done. Now let's view the result. Let's go and check with the demo conferencing API. Okay, so this is how the API management stuff is working. Okay, so on the API part, and how exactly the things are happening. Any questions, guys, that you want to ask with respect to this platform?
Dev?
Yeah, guys. So yeah, I think someone was calling. I was on call with your team for the lab part. Okay. So did you get any response from Vandana for the lab thing,
No,
guys?
we did not.
No, no update on the lab part, right?
No.
Hi Dev.
Yeah, Abhishek.
I wanted to ask, while you were making the API, you switched from basic to full, right? So what is the
Hmm.
difference between the two?
Yeah, I was thinking, no one has asked me the question. So see, when you're talking about this whole, when you're creating this option, so if I select full or if I select basics, so what we are doing is, see, API, what is the use of API, right? What is the process of API? If I ask you API, what exactly it is?
It's like sending like trying to trigger a function, calling out to a function.
Yeah, so calling out a function, or you can say it's more of like a, let's say communication part. So it's like a simple communication. So when we are trying to talk and interact, so we use languages, we use, other things, expressions and all. So in the computer world, we have this API which is coming up into the picture. So software products, whenever they want to exchange data, functionalities, so they use this API stuff, the application programming interfaces. Okay. So it basically what you're trying to do is you're requesting, and based on that you're getting a response, and then the API does the connection with your web server. Then you have the database. So basically the whole the architecture that we are having. Okay. Now when we are trying to publish, okay, so there are different function calls which are happening. Okay. So if I talk about this types of APIs, so we have this private, we have partner, we have public or external stuff that is coming up. Okay. So what is this private, partner, and public? If I ask you, what exactly is the difference between all of them? These are the types of policies which are there, right? So what exactly is the use of this? Sorry. Yes. So what exactly is the use of this private, public API
Uh,
policies?
I think it's like if it is a public, then everyone can use, or if it is a private, like it's we have to buy some kind of license to access the API.
Uh, Right. So somewhat like that, what you said is, I won't say wrong, but yeah. So private are like, which are totally into organization. So this like, apps or development, kind of news. So you have a existing resource and you're working on it, and it's a part of your organization. Okay. So these are like for your internal organization, within your internal, for your internal employees. So you're building an app. So that is like a private area. So when we talk about the partner release policies, okay, of the API. So we have this end customer or business users, which are coming into the picture. So this can be the integration between two organization, okay, and all. And then we have this public or external, so which is more of like a third party. So this is like third party stuff. So where you are trying to develop you know a integration, okay, for a public API. So it's like, increasing the brand awareness or external innovation stuff for this, for your external API. So these are the different things which are there. Now, when you're talking with respect to Azure, okay, the APIs that we are dealing with. So now we are trying to use the API management. So in this API management, what exactly we are doing is we are trying to provide a platform. Okay. Now here we are defining the policies. Okay. There is a policy even in API, Azure API management. Okay. So the API management policies are basically, having the same statements. Okay. So it's like, the way we have private, we have external and all those things. So similarly, we have this, policies which are defined in if, which are used by Azure API, okay, for defining the policies. Now, when we started with the creation of this whole API, okay, so while using that, we have selected a full, okay, so we have selected a full option, or we had two options. One is the basic and full. So basic is like it will provide you the basic options, like if you want to go for a minimum requirement, okay, minimum areas, and if you want to deal with like developer or groups, you want to manage those groups, or providing the options on gateway, okay, or something on that particular aspect. So you can go with basic options. Okay. When we talk about full, so full gives you option for creating the resource group. It provides you option for the full API management service. Okay, so we have specified that. So in that we can specify the application, sorry, the specification, API specification. Okay, what file we have. So we can select a file. We can provide the display name, description, the type of URL scheme that you're going to use, the API URL suffix, okay, tags, okay, if you want to deal with any product, so all those things will be provided over here. So all the values have been provided, you know in this full area.
Okay, Dev. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about further. Let's move ahead. So we'll talk about the app service logic now, and what is the how it works, what are the things, and then we'll be talking about the Azure Event Create. Okay. What are these options and what is the use of it? And parallelly, we'll be also talking about the bus. The if we want to develop message-based solutions, so how we can develop and how we can use service bus over there. What is the use case of it? So I'm sharing my PPT. Just have a look over there. Guys, have you heard about hub and spoke design? The hub and spoke model? Anytime?
No.
All right, let me share the screen. So we'll discuss. Okay, so let's talk about this, Azure event and all. Okay, so how exactly the things are working. So yeah, so what is Azure Grid, or what is the concept behind this Azure Event Grid? Okay, and what exactly is the requirement of this whole Event Grid part? Okay, so Azure Event Grid is actually, it allows us to easily build application with the event-based architecture. Okay, so what we do is, at the initial level, we first select the Azure resource, which we would like to subscribe to, and then we give the event handler or the webhook endpoint to the, you know, to send the event to that particular area. So Event Grid, what it does, it has a built-in support for events. It has a built-in support for the events for which are coming from Azure services. So like storage blob, resource group, all of them. So Event Grid, they also have support. It actually also supports for the own events. Okay, and all those areas. Okay, so we can use filters to route specific events to different endpoints. We can multicast to multiple endpoints, and you know we can assure that it is being reliably delivered. So this is what you will find, with the event area. Okay. So when we talk about the event-driven architecture, so this is how the event-driven architecture. So we have event producers, we have event producers, and event ingestion, and then event consumer. These are the three levels that we are having. Okay, all of them, they have their own use case. Now, what do you mean by events? See, in Azure Event Grid, there are 5 concepts. Okay, in Azure Event Grid. So one is the event, okay, which is nothing but what happened. Then we have event source, where the event took place. Okay, so event source is like where the event took place. Topics is like the endpoint where publisher sends events. And then we have event subscription. Okay, so event subscription is the endpoint or built-in mechanisms where we route events. Okay, so and then we have event handlers. So event handlers is the app or service reacting to the event. Sorry guys, there would be some noise in the background. So I told you, my daughter is not keeping well, so she's sitting next to me all the time. Yeah. So sorry for the disturbance in the background, guys. So we have this events. These are the 5. These are the concepts in your event grid. Okay, there are the 5 concepts: event, event source, topics, event subscription, and event handler. So these are the areas that we are dealing with. So the event is nothing but your what happened. So event can be defined as the smallest amount of information that we are targeting. Okay, so, so it actually describes the whole, that something has happened in the system. So any event, that is being there. So the size of the event can be from 64 KB to 1 MB, depending on the type of event that we have, whether it's in service level agreement stuff, or whether it is covered by GA, depending on that. Event source is where you are, where the event is happening. So it's like, let's say, for example, in Azure storage, Azure storage is like an event source, okay, for blob created events, or IoT hub is the event source for your, device created events. So event source basically. Then we have topics. When we talk about the topics, it provides an endpoint where the source, sends the data. Okay. So a topic is basically used for, collection of related events. So it basically has those concepts over there. And then we have event subscription. event subscription is all about, which events on the topic you are interested in receiving. So, so whenever we are creating a subscription, we provide an endpoint for the handling that event. And then we have event handlers. So event grid perspective is basically, so event handler is using that, it's like a place where the event is sent. So handler takes the things further into action and it processes the event. Okay. So these are the different, areas that we are dealing with. So this is all about the event part, okay? How exactly the event is working and what are the things. Okay, now talking about the key architecture components, the one that we are seeing. So we have, we have producers, we have partitions, we have consumer groups, we have different types of, architecture stuff. So basically, if you ask me, what exactly is this event grid? So are you able to understand what exactly is event grid? Azure event grid. What is the use of it, guys?
Yes, there.
What exactly it does?
It helps us to, build apps which follow this event-driven architecture.
Okay. Yeah. So yes, we are using, so a lot of organization they have been working on Azure's event grid. So it is basically used for handling application level events. Okay, so whatever we are doing on the application level, we are using for it. So Azure event grid is one of its kind. Okay, so it simplifies the deployment of event based on applications, and it simplifies the creation of you know serverless workflows. So you can use single service, you can manage all those things. So that is what event grid is. Are we clear with this five concept of event? So we have this event, handlers, and all the subscription and everything. So the question is, what can I do with the event grid? Okay. So basically, it is used for integration work, ops automation, or you can improve your serverless stuff. Okay. So as we know that everything has a cost, it has a different. So event grid they have some key features. Okay. So whenever we talk about this event grid, so simplicity is one of them. Advanced filtering is another. Okay. So those are some of the key features that we are having. So when we talk about simplicity, so it's like so you're clicking or you're aiming the main events from your Azure resources, and you are trying to connect to any event handler or endpoint. Okay, so that we are trying to do. Advanced filtering, it's like you're filtering or you're applying filter on event type or event which is published in the path and all. So these are some of the key capabilities over there. Apart from this, we have, let me share the So this is how it is. So we have the event sources, we have the event handlers, and then we have the event creator. So blog, media services, subscription, resource group. So these are the places where the events are happening, and this is where you are trying to, connect. So whatever we have seen right now, whether it is related to function or there are certain automation event hubs are there, hybrid connection, queue, webhooks. So these are the concepts: event sources, topics, event subscription, and event handler. There is a concept about it. So these are the sources. So from here we are getting the event. Okay. So topics, what it does. So the endpoint where publisher, is sending the request. So it is the area. And from here, based on the subscription, the handler is taking the things up for the event. So this is a format. This is for the JSON. You can see here. Here we have the event type as storage block created. So time and all ID. So these are the metadata. Okay, API, put block list. This is the URL. Now these are the different schema. So when we talk about topic, subject, event type, event time, they all are string. Okay, data is object type, data version, and then we have the metadata version. Okay. So mostly a string, and then we have one which is data, which is object type. Okay. Now, what are the types of authentication which we are using? So again, there are three types of authentication we are dealing with. So when it comes to the whole process. Before this, let us understand how does a event capture, how event hubs they capture work. When we talk about event hubs, okay, the event hub enables us, to automatically capture the streaming data in the event hub. Okay. In Azure, whether it's a blob storage or data lake storage account, whatever, whatever you're choosing as per your choice. So with this added flexibility of, event hub, of specifying time or size interval, it's the capturing becomes very fast. So capturing is we want to set up, and there is no administrative cost which is coming up. The scaling up is happening automatically with the event hubs. All those things are happening. Now the question is how event hubs they capture works. Okay, so event hubs is like a, it's like a time retention durable buffer, for any kind of telemetry stuff. Okay, so it's like how we have the distributed log. So if we want to scale in event hub, there's only one key which we can use. If we talk about the key to the scaling in the event hub, it's nothing but the partitioned consumer model. So each partition that we are having is an independent segment of the data, and basically it is consumed independently over there. Okay. So event hub, what it does, it captures, it enables us to specify, the Azure Blob storage account, container, or the data lake storage account, whatever we are using. So these accounts can be in the same region, or it can be in another region. It can be in another area. Okay. So there's a concept called as windowing. Okay. So windowing, which has been used by Event Hub. So what exactly is this? So Event Hub, what it does, it enables us to set up a window to control capturing. So this window is minimum size and the time configuration. So it has this policy called as first win policy. Okay. So that means the first trigger encountered, will cause a capture operation, and it will be taken out. So each of this partition capture, so each of this partition capture that we are having independently, they have been captured independently, and it has been taken ahead. So that's how Event Hub is working. Okay. Have you used Kafka? Anyone? Have you heard about it? Kafka? Kafka. Kafka. Guys, let's go for a tea break for 10 minutes and let's come back. Okay. All right, are we back?
Yes.
Yeah, I think VT has pasted some link. Yeah. So please go ahead and fill it. Okay. Is it done, guys? Guys, are we done with that link? The feedback?
Yeah. Yeah.
All of you? Anuja, you're done?
Yes, Dave, I'm done.
Okay. Hey guys, are we back? Yeah, you're back. So please turn on your cams. I think we are almost at the verge now. Akhil. Akhil Trinayan. So what's your Kola or Trinayan? Akhil.
No, Kola is my last.
Kola. Okay. Sarthak Das. So you would be wondering why I'm taking the last one now today.
You're just trying to figure out where our people are from. I guess.
That's wonderful, Zinsa Rasool. She's thinking, should I unmute or not?
I thought you were just taking the attendance.
No, it's not done. We are still, there. I will leave you. Don't worry. We'll be winding up in next 15, half an hour. Okay, don't worry about that. I know it's Saturday and you guys have plans. Even I got plans. My plan is to go to the doctor and get some vaccination because of this cold and all. Okay, so I just wanted to understand you guys are being allocated with some projects, right? And after this, you would be working on those projects, and there would be on-job training which will be coming up with respect to that project, right? Your respective. So right now, or till now, you have not been provided with any kind of, project name or where you're going to work. Nothing like that. Correct? Anyone who
So
has
like
received it?
assigned with the teams, right? Okay, but we have not been assigned with any project, right?
That teams, okay. So that team is already working on some project?
Sorry, what?
The team is already working on some project, or is it a fresh team like you?
No, like we have got experienced people already from last year. They are working.
The experience, but only 1 year.
Like
Yeah.
our team have like just told the topics like they told that cloud migrations on-prem to cloud.
Who is that? Your team?
Neil Laksh.
Laksh.
Yeah.
Okay, so this training is useless for you then. It's 204. To be very frank, for you it's 104 then.
Yeah, the different strategies like the retire, migrate,
Yeah, lift and shift.
yeah,
Yeah, I know.
M2C and other stuff.
Yeah, and in that you would be having those VNet extensively, side to side, point to side, all those
Yeah.
connection.
The
Yeah,
service bus part is there little bit for the notifications, but
yeah.
rest all the other stuff. But it's good.
Infrastructure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
In fact, you will like it more. I will tell you. If we talk about Azure, there are two areas where I've seen Azure extensively used. One is the infrastructure part, and the second one is your DevOps. These are the two areas where Azure is extensively used, and so there's a concept of WVD and all. You know, you will love it. I'm telling you, you will like this process.
Yeah,
This whole,
both things are there.
yeah. So development along with the infra is one of the best combination. Best. If you get this kind of project, then nothing like that. Within 1 year, you would be having a very good understanding about all the products which are there in Azure. And not only in Azure. So once you're hands-on with the Azure, AWS is like piece of cake then. Because that same methodology has been used. The only thing is like the product name changes. So we have S3, we have VPC, and then EC2 and all those things are there.
Blob
Which are
and
coming from.
EBS.
Yes, everything. Lambda. Okay, so that's for you. What else? Who else has got any idea about your projects? The reason why I'm asking is, So see, I had this right now. Whatever we have discussed, whatever we have done. Okay. So this is like an overview for you. Once you're getting onboarded with your project, so that would be more project specific when you're dealing with those trainings, and might be you might have more permissions over there, what you're getting restricted right now. So you might will be having more, so the labs and everything will be more extensive. You would be working thoroughly into that area. So like how Laksh mentioned, it's more of a migration activities and all those things which are coming up. Okay. Now there are a few topics which I would like to discuss before calling it up, and which are, I feel like they are important. So one is the monitoring aspect, okay, and the second one is your you know like when we talk about this content delivery stuff, okay, the cache and all, okay, or storage part. So how exactly the things are happening, okay. Now, monitoring aspect, when you talk about monitoring in Azure, okay, so it's one of the major solution that we are using. You can keep your cams on, okay, so that we have the last half an hour discussing in front to front. If you have anything, you can, if you feel like, you're not ready or there is some background disturbance, so you can you get your cams off. That's not a challenge. Okay. So when we talk about this monitoring concept, guys, or when we talk about Azure solution, see, monitoring is everywhere. So whether it's your on-premises, whether it's your what do you call as, cloud, everything, every area required monitoring. So we have this event viewer, which are running in your applications on your operating system. So you have one of the best monitoring tool, which is nothing but your yeah. Anyone? Any guesses? What is the best monitoring tool or one of the common monitoring tool that you use, and which is there on all the client machines as well as on the server machine, especially on the
Prom,
window part?
prom.
Which one?
The in Azure monitoring we use Prometheus. Like we can use Prometheus for
Prom-
monitoring stuff.
Prometheus is right. You're right, but no, I'm talking about with respect to operating system. So Windows operating system, you're using. So
The
whether it's a client OS or a server OS. So what is the common monitoring system that you're using over there?
task manager where we can see the performance.
Laksh, you're awesome. Awesome, Laksh, awesome. Yeah, the best answer I have, received till now. So how did you think that it's a task manager?
Just thought of where we can monitor things. So there is a performance tab where we can see the CPU usage and the memory usage.
Perfectly right, Laksh. So task manager is one of the common monitoring option that you will find in all the operating systems, especially on the Windows. So it it is kind of a built-in stuff. Apart from that, we have event viewer, which you have it. So this is also, but task manager is very common one. Okay. So as rightly said by Laksh, that we can monitor the application, the current status of the application, the CPU utilization, or the whole compute utilization to be more precise, or talking about you know the network. Okay. So all of them. Suddenly your cameras are getting turned off. Come back, guys, come back. Okay. Bhanu, all well?
Yeah, everything's fine.
Okay. Akhil is going to throw up, I think. Okay. So Azure Monitor is quite a same service that we are having. So when we talk about Azure Monitor, so Azure Monitor maximizes the availability and performance of application, services, how we are delivering it, what are the options which are there. So what it does to maximize the availability and performance, so it actually collects, analyze, acts, you know, and it does all those things. Okay, so it can be from your cloud or it can be on premises. So Azure has an option for on premises as well as on the cloud. So there's a concept called as hybrid, okay, which goes with the cloud as well as on premises. So many organization, they have this concept of hybrid, and there are many organizations who have multi-cloud solution, okay, which are coming up. Okay, so you might be dealing with the AWS, Azure, all of them. You might get those